He sacrificed his queen in just 17 moves, while an opera was playing in the background, and his opponents were two noblemen consulting together. This is the opera game. Hi everyone, I'm Aniket, an Arena International Master. Welcome back to the Queen Sacrifice Legends Episode 5. In this series, we study the greatest queen sacrifices in chess history and understand the ideas behind them, not just the moves. Make sure you subscribe because every episode here is designed to sharpen your attacking vision. Now, let's go to Paris, 1858. Okay, so to start with a story of the opera game. The game was played inside the famous Paris Opera House. White was the American prodigy, Paul Morphy, often regarded as the first unofficial world champion, a player far ahead of his time in understanding development and initiative. Black was a consulting pair, Duke Karl, Brunswick, and Count Isouard. One elite attacking genius versus two aristocrats. And this game became the most famous miniatures ever played. What makes this episode even more interesting is that I also have some comments made by Bobby Fischer on this game. Fischer deeply admired Morphy and highlighted key moments in this masterpiece. I will reference some of those insights during analysis. Now, let's set the board. If you're serious about improving and want structured training instead of random puzzles, I work with students personally. The link to train with me is in description. Now, let's continue. So white is Paul Morphy and black is Duke Karl and Countess Howard. Paul Morphy started the game with e4, black replied with e5, white continued with knight f3, and black replied with d6. So Philidor Defence is on the board. So Paul Morphy follows classical principles perfectly. So here, black did not do anything to stop white's d4. So here, white can play d4. And this is what Morphy did, simply striking in the center and playing d4. So here, black is having so many moves, like knight f6. Here, even black can play knight d7 and even e takes d4. All these moves are perfectly fine. But here, black continued the game with bishop g4, simply pinning the knight. And Fischer has annotated this move, and Fischer said this is a weak move already. So white continued the game with d takes e5. And here the point is, if black decided to take this pawn back, there is a queen takes d8 check, and after king takes, there's a knight takes e5. And white has already won a pawn. His knight is a monster knight in the center. The bishop is attacked and f7 is attacked, which he will obviously save it by bishop e6. But white just got a pawn and white is completely winning in this position. That is the reason after d takes e5, so black has to eliminate the knight from f3, and here he played bishop takes f3, which is not a great idea. You can also see the evolution bar, which is going up for white. And here they have a better idea. Obviously, black cannot capture it back. We have seen that, and black should not done that as well. Black should continue the game with the same idea. He can just simply play knight c6, knight d7, and just continue the idea. And he has sacrificed a pawn, but that's okay. There's nothing major happening, and white pieces are not too active. White pieces got active after bishop takes f3. So let's see what happened in the game is. After bishop takes f3, white continue the game with queen takes f3, and now black simply capture back on e5. And here, Morphy continued the game with development, not wasting any moves. And here, white played bishop c4, just putting the bishop into an optimal square, and also threatening checkmate at the same time. So he has to save it, and here, black played knight f6. And slowly and surely, white is getting lots of advantage. And here, black, instead of knight f6, he should have played queen f6, and he may be able to do something. But after knight f6, white continued the game with queen b3, attacking on b7 and attacking on f7 at the same time. So now queen has to be moved, and black continued the game with queen e7, just protecting f7. And yes, if white likes, white can continue the game with queen b7. There is no problem with it, and white will be fine. The only thing is, black can continue the game with queen b4 check, and now obviously it's a check, and queens are watching each other, so black has to take the queen, and after bishop takes b4 check, he can simply play c3 or even bishop d2 is fine in this position, and after bishop takes and knight takes, we will get this position where white is having an extra pawn, and his two pieces are out. The and knight is also protecting e4, and white is just fine in this position and pretty much winning. We could have this position where Paul Morphy could have taken b7, but he decided not to, and he decided to give us the opera game. And what Paul Morphy played in this position is knight c3, simply developing his pieces. And we have got this position, which after this game, we have never seen it again. This is a completely new position we have. Black continue the game with the best move, which is c6. The c6 is doing multiple things. The first, the queen is protecting b7, and now queen can't take b7 or f7. And second thing, it is dominating the knight, and knight cannot go to b5 or d5. White continue the game with bishop g5, simply making a pin on the knight. And here we have one more comment by Fischer. He said, Black is in, but it's like a zugzwang position here. He can't develop the queen's knight because the pawn is hanging on b7. The bishop is blocked because of the queen. So this is what Fischer is saying. He's saying it's a zugzwang. I'm not gonna cover the zugzwang topic because that's upcoming in my series. But here the point is black is out of moves. Black cannot move the knight to d7 because queen takes b7 is winning. This bishop is blocked by the queen, and here, if we decided play knight a6, which looks fine, the problem with this move is after bishop takes a6, b takes a6, and here white can simply do short castle. First of all, black is not developed. Second of all, his pawn structures is just super bad, and he's gonna simply lose a game in the end game. That's the reason maybe he did not play knight a6. And here, black did a mistake and played b5. He's simply attacking the bishop. And the point is, if you try to move the bishop, let's say if black goes back on d3, the game suddenly become a draw because there's nothing on b7 hanging and he can simply play knight bd7 and he's just back in the game. Black is having no problem and he will simply move the queen, put the pieces and he can hold. It's draw. After b5, bishop cannot be moved. So pause the video here and find the best move for white. Try to think like a Morphy. Here, in this position, Morphy played knight takes b5, simply sacrificing his knight for two pawns and the open king. And here, he had a chance. Black's best reply in this position is the same idea, queen b4 check. And after queen takes b4 and bishop takes b4, it looks like it's a check and knight is hanging, but he can simply play c3, attack the bishop, and after c takes b5 and bishop b5 check, king can move on e7 and c takes b4. And yes, he got two extra pawns and completely winning position, but that was the last chance for black to continue the game and hope for best. But unfortunately, after knight takes b5, they simply capture the knight on b5, and here the fun starts. White continue the game with bishop b5 check, and here they should have played king d8 and just hope for best. But unfortunately, they continue the game with knight bd7. White simply did long castle. So if you see this position, that's the first pin, that's the second pin, and he's already putting a pressure on d7. Black continue the game with rook d8, just hoping to save the knight and save the game. But unfortunately, what Morphy did, which we should also do, whenever there is a pin, try to put more pressure on the pin piece. And here, Morphy sacrificed another piece on d7 and played rook takes d7, sacrificing a rook. And obviously, if queen takes, he will lose a queen, and king can't take it back. And queen is also in danger. So here, rook takes back, and Morphy played his last piece, rook d1. It's the 14th move of the game. He has already sacrificed two pieces and he has developed all of his pieces. And if you see, black cannot even play with his 8 points of material. Black is having an extra material, but he can't do anything with it. And on the other side, white is playing with each and every piece. Black did the last mistake of the game, which is queen e6. He played queen e6, just hoping maybe Morphy will take it and something may change, but not today. So pause your video here and find the best move for white. And here, what Morphy played is bishop takes d7 check. After bishop takes d7, the queen is attacked and the king is attacked at the same time. And here, black is having the only hope, and black should have played queen takes d7 and give up a queen and hope for best. But unfortunately, black played knight takes d7, and here instantly lost. White continued the game with queen b8 check, sacrificing his queen on b8, which black cannot say no to it, and knight takes b8. And here, if you see, black is having 10 extra points of material, but it's never about the material, it's about the king, how safe your king is. Out of these 10 points of material, he has never used his 8th point of material. So it's having no point of having more material and not using it in the game. And white finished the game with rook d8, checkmate, with the help of bishop and rook. The opera game is not just a queen sacrifice, it's about fundamentals. Development wins game, open lines punish undeveloped king, coordination beats material. Morphy did not sacrifice a queen because he wanted to attack. He attacked because his position justified it. That's the difference between random aggression and classical attacking chess. If you enjoyed episode 5 of Queen Sacrifice Legends, subscribe for the next legendary Queen Sacrifices. And comment below which is your favorite Queen Sacrifice in chess history. I'll see you in the next one.